Send men to scout the area. We need to know what's out there.
Yes, sir.
Commander, soldiers have been assigned temporary quarters.
Very good. I'll need an update on the armory as well. Now! We set up as best we could at Haven, but could never prepare for an archdemon, or whatever it was. With some warning, we might have...
We were all shaken by what happened.
If Corypheus strikes again, we may not be able to withdraw. And I wouldn't want to. We must be ready. Work on Skyhold is underway. Guard rotations established. We should have everything on course within the week. We will not run from here, Inquisitor.
How many were lost?
Most of our people made it to Skyhold. It could have been worse. Morale was low, but it's improved greatly since you accepted the role of Inquisitor.
Everyone has so much faith in my leadership. I hope I'm ready.
You won't have to carry the Inquisition alone, although it must feel like it. We needed a leader, and you have proven yourself.
Thank you, Cullen. Our escape from Haven, it was close. I'm relieved that so many made it out.
As am I. You stayed behind. You could have... I will not allow the events at Haven to happen again. You have my word.
Did you leave anyone behind in Kirkwall?
No. I fear I made few friends there, and my family's in Ferelden.
No one special caught your interest?
Not in Kirkwall. Inquisitor, I've found where the Red Templars come from. Therenfall Redoubt. The Knights were fed red lyrium until they turned into monsters. Samson took over after their corruption was complete.
How do you know Samson?
He was a Templar in Kirkwall, until he was expelled from the Order. I knew he was an addict, but this... Red lyrium is nothing like the lyrium given by the Chantry. Its power comes with a terrible madness.
The Red Templars swarming Haven were proof enough.
We cannot allow them to gain strength. The Red Templars still require lyrium. If we find their source, we can weaken them and their leader.
Are you angrier at Corypheus or Samson?
I don't know. Samson at least should know better. Caravans of red lyrium are being smuggled along trade roads. Investigating them could lead to where it's being mined. If you confront them, be wary. Anything connected to Samson will be well guarded. As leader of the Inquisition, there's something I must tell you.
Whatever it is, I'm willing to listen.
Right. Thank you. Lyrium grants Templars our abilities, but it controls us as well. Those cut off suffer. Some go mad, others die. We have secured a reliable source of lyrium for the Templars here. But I no longer take it.
You stopped?
When I joined the Inquisition. It's been months now.
Cullen, if this can kill you...
It hasn't yet. After what happened in Kirkwall, I couldn't. I will not be bound to the Order, or that life any longer. Whatever the suffering, I accept it. But I would not put the Inquisition at risk. I've asked Cassandra to... watch me. If my ability to lead is compromised, I will be relieved from duty.
Thank you for telling me. I respect what you're doing.
Thank you, Inquisitor. The Inquisition's army must always take priority. Should anything happen, I will defer to Cassandra's judgment. Inquisitor?
You and the Red Templars' leader seem to have personal history.
When I arrived in Kirkwall, Samson and I shared quarters. He seemed a decent man at first. Knight Commander Meredith later expelled Samson for erratic behavior. He ended up begging on Kirkwall streets. He committed further crimes, but managed to evade the Order's justice. Now Samson serves Corypheus as his loyal general.
Why do you think Samson joined Corypheus?
He had a chronic lyrium addiction. He spent every last coin buying it from local smugglers. Perhaps Corypheus flattered his vanity, gave him purpose as well as lyrium. Perhaps that's all it took.
It sounds like Samson had a miserable life.
The Order expelled him, but he had choices. He could have found another path. I don't understand how he became so powerful. Even with red lyrium, Samson's glory days are long behind him.
I've made some inquiries into the Imperial Court. The sooner we deal with the threats to the Empress, the better. The political situation in the Empire is dangerously unstable. It will complicate matters.
Everything in the Empire complicates matters. It's the Orlesian national pastime.
Turn your nose up at the grand game if you like, Commander, but we play for the highest stakes, and to the death.
The Court's disapproval can be as great a threat as the Venatori. We must be vigilant to avert disaster.
Don't worry, Josephine. We'll protect the Empress no matter what.
I pray you're right. If your vision of the future comes to pass, the death of the Empress heralds the destruction of everything. Orlais holds Tevinter at bay. All of Thedas could be lost if the Empire falls to Corypheus. Celine is holding peace talks under the auspices of a grand masquerade. Every power in Orlais will be there. It's the perfect place for an assassin to hide.
Does Celine know about the threats against her? Can we send word?
I've sent messages to the Empress, but it's impossible to know if she's received them. We don't have enough sway with the court to arrange an invitation. Perhaps a few more alliances.
Or soldiers.
We need a greater presence in Orlais. And soon.
Gloat all you like. I have this one.
Are you sassing me, Commander? I didn't know you had it in you.
Why do I even... Inquisitor.
Leaving, are you? Does this mean I win?
Please, don't stop on my account.
All right. Your move.
You need to come to terms with my inevitable victory. You'll feel much better.
Really? Because I just won. And I feel fine.
Don't get smug. There will be no living with you.
I should return to my duties as well. Unless you would care for a game.
Prepare the board, Commander.
As a child, I played this with my sister. She would get this stuck-up grin whenever she won, which was all the time. My brother and I practiced together for weeks. Oh, the look on her face the day I finally won. Between serving the Templars and the Inquisition, I haven't seen them in years. I wonder if she still plays.
You have siblings.
2 sisters and a brother.
Where are they now?
They moved to South Reach after the Blight. I do not write to them as often as I should. Ah, it's my turn.
All right, let's see what you've got.
This may be the longest we've gone without discussing the Inquisition, or related matters. To be honest, I appreciate the distraction.
We should spend more time together.
I would like that.
Me too.
You said that. We should finish our game, right? My turn? I believe this one is yours. Well played. We shall have to try again sometime. At your service.
I thought we could talk. Alone.
Alone? I mean, of course. It's a nice day.
What?
There was something you wished to discuss.
I find myself thinking of you. More than... well...
All the time, really.
I can't say I haven't wondered what it would be like.
What's stopping you?
You're the Inquisitor. We're at war, and you... I didn't think it was possible.
And yet I'm still here.
So you are. It seems too much to ask, but I want to.
Commander! You wanted a copy of Sister Leliana's report.
What?
Sister Leliana's report? You wanted it delivered without delay. Or to your office. Right.
If you need to...
I'm sorry. That was, really nice.
You don't regret it, do you?
No. No. Not at all.
Do you have some time?
For you, always.
The Commander of the Inquisition and the Herald of Andraste. That will have people talking.
You wouldn't believe how quickly gossip spreads through the barracks.
Does it bother you?
I would rather our private affairs remain that way. But if there were nothing here for people to talk about, I would regret it more.
The day you kissed me on the battlements, how long had you wanted to do that?
Longer than I should admit.
The time Dalish never bothered you.
I hadn't considered. Elves weren't treated differently in the circles I served. I didn't think what it might mean to you. I hope that doesn't... I mean, does it bother you?
No. If you care for me, that's all that matters. I wasn't trying to put you on the spot.
I'm not very good at this, am I? If I seem unsure, it's because it's been a long time since I've wanted anyone in my life. I wasn't expecting to find that here. Or you.
You need a break. Come on. Is there anything I should know?
Repairs to Skyhold's fortifications are progressing. Our scouts report no immediate threats in the surrounding area. We are fortunate Solus knew of this place.
Is there anything I should know?
I'd gotten used to mages disliking me on principle. Vivienne's views on Templars are surprisingly traditional.
I've never disliked you on principle.
I noticed.
Is there anything I should know?
Sarah brought me a piece of cake. She thought I looked hungry.
Why are you telling me this?
Because it was either an act of kindness or a trap. I was hoping you knew which.
Is there anything I should know?
I believe Dagna has settled in well. She's certainly very cheerful.
Is that a bad thing?
I'm concerned she'll cheerfully blow up Skyhold with one of her experiments. The risk is small at present.
Is there anything I should know?
Not at present. Inquisitor, we were...
Eagerly awaiting your presence. Some of us more than others.
I wasn't... I mean, I was. We have work to do.
Of course.
There you are.
Were you waiting for me?
Yes. I mean, no.
I can come back later if you'd prefer.
No. Please stay. We have some dealings in Ferelden. I was hoping you might accompany me. When you can spare the time, of course.
Is something wrong?
What? No. I would rather explain there, if you wish to go.
I believe there's time now.
I will make the necessary arrangements.
Where are we?
You walk into danger every day. I wanted to take you away from that, if only for a moment. I grew up not far from here. This place was always quiet.
Did you come here often?
I loved my siblings. They were very loud. I would come here to clear my head. Of course, they always found me eventually.
You were happy here.
I was. I still am.
It's beautiful.
The last time I was here was the day I left for Templar training. My brother gave me this. It just happened to be in his pocket, but he said it was for luck. Templars are not supposed to carry such things. Our faith should see us through.
A little luck can't hurt every now and then.
I suppose not. I should have died during the Blight, or at Kirkwall, or Haven. Take your pick. And yet I made it back here. Humor me. We don't know what you'll face before the end. This can't hurt.
I'll keep it safe.
Good. I know it's foolish, but I'm glad. Did you need something?
May I ask you something?
Always.
The Inquisition won't last forever. What will you do when this is over?
To be honest, I hadn't given it much thought until recently. I'm not used to having so many possibilities.
Do you think Templars should cease to exist?
No. I may have chosen to leave that life, but I respect those who remain. Magic ungoverned could tear the world apart. It's doing so now. Templars are trained and able to confront such dangers.
What would you suggest?
Some call the Circle a prison that can only breed resentment. Perhaps opportunities to work outside the Circle. A mixed military service or healers' clinics with Templar support. And there must be a safer way for Templars to leave. Templars can lose their memories to lyrium. Some call it a gift, to forget the failed harrowings, the demons. Some atrocities haunt me still. But to lose what good I can recall, I nearly lost my mind once. It is no gift.
I like the sound of that.
I'm not sure it's the answer, but something needs to change.
You still regret the man you became after leaving Ferelden?
After the Ferelden Circle, I thought all mages were like the ones there. Knight Commander Meredith's methods were harsh, but they kept people safe.
You said Meredith was unstable.
She was my Knight Commander. I had no reason to distrust her. She wasn't wrong about the Blood Mages in Kirkwall. Meredith encouraged my anger towards the mages. There was only so far I would go, and she knew that too. I was her second in command. She kept decisions from me, those I would question. I believed she was serving the city. I never thought to question her, not until it was too late.
You can't control everything. You stood up to her in the end.
If I hadn't, would I be like her now? I wanted mages locked away as much as she did. I trusted they were treated reasonably well, but I should have done more. I should have looked into it. It's not yet enough. The Inquisition is my chance to atone. I will see it through.
You've mentioned siblings. With everything that's happening, do you know if they're all right?
I've received word from my eldest sister. She was always good at tracking me down. South Reach has experienced the same chaos as everywhere else. My family is fine. Pray they remain so.
Your sister tracked you down. She didn't know where you were.
I let her know I was in Haven. She assumed I survived. It's not the first time. I may have neglected to tell her when I was transferred to Kirkwall.
Why?
I wasn't in a good state. I wanted only to leave. I received an angry letter about my disappearance 2 years later. For all her reprimands, it was a relief to hear from someone who knew me before the Blight.
That's all I wanted to know.
Should you require anything, I'll be here. The smugglers we interrogated gave up the Red Templar's main source of red lyrium, Inquisitor. It's located in the Dales, near a town called Sarnia. Destroying the mine there will cripple Samson's operations.
Excellent work, Commander. I'll investigate the mine.
Destroying the Red Templar's source of lyrium will be a loss Samson won't soon forget.
Adamant Fortress has stood against the Darkspawn since the time of the Second Blight.
Fortunately for us, that means it was built before the age of modern siege equipment. A good trebuchet will do major damage to those ancient walls. And thanks to our Lady Ambassador...
Lady Cyril of Jadar was pleased to lend the Inquisition her sabers. They've already delivered the trebuchets.
That is the good news.
And the bad news?
Erimond called the ritual at the western approach a test. He may already be raising his army of demons in the fortress.
The Inquisition forces can breach the gate, but if the Wardens already have their demons...
I found records of Adamant's construction. There are choke points we can use to limit the field of battle.
That's good. We may not be able to defeat them outright. But if we cut off reinforcements, we can carve you a path to Warden Commander Clarel.
Taking this fortress is going to get a lot of good soldiers killed.
Our soldiers know the risks, Inquisitor, and they know what they're fighting for.
It'll be hard fought, no way around it. But we'll get that gate open.
It's also possible that some Wardens may be sympathetic to our cause.
The warriors may be willing to listen to reason, though I doubt they will turn against Clarel directly. The mages, however, are slaves to Corypheus. They will fight to the death.
We've built the siege engines and readied our forces, Inquisitor. Give the word, and we march on Adamant.
Pull back! They're through!
All right, Inquisitor. You have your way in. Best make use of it. We'll keep the main host of demons occupied for as long as we can.
I'll be fine. Just keep the men safe.
We'll do what we have to, Inquisitor.
Warden Alistair will guard your back. Hawk is with our soldiers on the battlements. She's assisting them until you arrive.
There's too much resistance on the walls. Our men on the ladders can't get a foothold. If you can clear out the enemies on the battlements, we'll cover your advance.
You asked for my opinion, and I've given it. Why would you expect it to change?
I expect you to keep your word. It's relentless. I can't...
You give yourself too little credit.
If I'm unable to fulfill what vows I kept, then nothing good has come of this. Would you rather save face than admit... Forgive me.
And people say I'm stubborn. This is ridiculous. Cullen told you that he's no longer taking lyrium?
Yes, and I respect his decision.
As do I. Not that he's willing to listen. Cullen has asked that I recommend a replacement for him. I refused. It's not necessary. Besides, it would destroy him. He's come so far.
Why didn't he come to me?
We had an agreement long before you joined us. As a Seeker, I could evaluate the dangers. And he wouldn't want to risk your disappointment.
Is there anything we can do to change his mind?
If anyone could, it's you. Mages have made their suffering known, but Templars never have. They are bound to the Order, mind and soul, with someone always holding their lyrium leash. Cullen has a chance to break that leash, to prove to himself, and anyone who would follow suit, that it's possible. He can do this. I knew that when we met in Kirkwall. Talk to him. Decide if now is the time.
Maker's breath. I didn't hear you enter. Forgive me.
Cullen, if you need to talk...
You don't have... I never meant for this to interfere.
Are you going to be all right?
Yes. I don't know. You asked what happened to Ferelden's Circle. It was taken over by abominations. The Templars, my friends, were slaughtered. I was tortured. They tried to break my mind, and I How can you be the same person after that? Still, I wanted to serve. They sent me to Kirkwall. I trusted my Knight Commander, and for what? Her fear of mages ended in madness. Kirkwall Circle fell. Innocent people died in the streets. Can't you see why I want nothing to do with that life?
Of course I can.
Don't. You should be questioning what I've done. I thought this would be better. That I would regain some control over my life, but these thoughts won't leave me. How many lives depend on our success? I swore myself to this cause. I will not give less to the Inquisition than I did to Chantry. I should be taking it. I should be taking it.
This doesn't have to be about the Inquisition. Is this what you want?
No. But these memories have always haunted me. If they become worse, if I cannot endure this...
You can.
All right. I wanted to thank you. When you came to see me, if there's anything... This sounded much better in my head.
I trust you're feeling better?
Yes.
Is it always that bad?
The pain comes and goes. Sometimes I feel as if I'm back there. I should not have pushed myself so far that day.
I'm just glad you're all right.
I am. I've never told anyone what truly happened to me at Ferelden's Circle. I was... not myself after that. I was angry. For years, that anger blinded me. I'm not proud of the man that made me. Where I saw mages, I'm not sure I would have cared about you. The thought of that sickens me. Now I can put some distance between myself and everything that happened. It's a start.
For what it's worth, I like who you are now.
Even after...
Cullen, I care about you. You've done nothing to change that.
What about you? You have troubles of your own. How are you holding on?
I've met good people here. Knowing they have my back, it helps.
You certainly keep interesting company. I suppose I do as well. We have to reach the Empress before Corypheus. The only question is, how?
We know how. I have our way in. The real question is, where is our enemy hiding? At the urging of Grand Duchess Florian, the Empress is holding a ball. Absolutely everyone will be there. During the festivities, Celine will be meeting for peace talks with usurper Duke Gaspard and Ambassador Briala.
The assassin must be hiding within one of these factions.
Do we need to go to the peace talks? The Empress must have personal guards. We could just warn her she's in danger.
We've made the attempt, but...
It seems that our messages never reached her. Someone intercepted them.
It's better that we don't leave this to chance. If Orlais falls to Corypheus, no land is safe.
We shouldn't waste any time. Let's go to the Winter Palace.
Sir Cullen Stanton Rutherford of Hunley, Commander of the Forces of the Inquisition, former Knight Commander of Kirkwall.
You must dance with me, Commander. You cannot stand about all evening.
I'm afraid not. Thank you.
Smile, Commander. You're so handsome when you smile. is just as handsome when he doesn't.
Can I get you a drink, Commander Cullen?
You fired on
No,
the Winter
thank you.
Palace?
Did you just
How
grab
could the
my
Empress
bottle?
afford to renovate the palace without water going?
I couldn't help myself.
I heard that.
Are you married, Commander?
Not yet, but I am already taken.
Still single, then?
Celine has
You have such beautiful hair, Commander.
Thank you. Inquisitor, did you need something? The sooner we track down this infiltrator, the better.
I don't suppose you'd save a dance for me?
No, thank you.
Oh,
No, I didn't mean to make us breath. I've answered that question so many times, I'm rejecting it automatically. I'm not one for dancing. The Templars never attended balls.
you've attracted a following. Who are all these people?
I don't know, but they won't leave me alone.
Not enjoying the attention, then?
Hardly. Anyway, yours... yours is the only attention worth having.
You'll be the talk of the court for months. We should take you dancing more often.
It's a relief to do something other than fight demons and horrors.
You still face demons and horrors. These ones are simply better dressed.
Were you dancing with Duchess Florian?
More importantly, what happened in the servants' quarters? I heard there was fighting.
I hope you have good news. It appears the peace talks are crumbling.
The Grand Duchess tried to convince me Gaspard is the traitor, but I'm not sure I buy it.
Florian and her brother are thick as thieves, but she would give him up in an instant to save herself.
Then, the attack on the Empress will happen tonight.
Warning Celine is pointless. She needs these talks to succeed, and to flee would admit defeat.
Then perhaps we should let her die.
I thought we were here to stop the assassination.
Listen to me carefully, Inquisitor. What Corypheus wants is chaos. Even with Celine alive, that could still happen. To foil his plan, the Empire must remain strong. This evening, someone must emerge victorious.
And it doesn't need to be Celine. She's right.
Do you realize what you're suggesting, Leliana?
Sometimes the best path is not the easiest one.
We came here to save Celine.
Then you must not only save her life, but also her empire.
That means giving her a victory over both Gaspard and Briala.
If there truly is proof Gaspard's in league with Corypheus, that would be a start.
What did Duchess Florian tell you?
She said Gaspard's mercenary captain is in the royal wing, that he knows about the assassination.
Which could be a trap.
Or a lead. Either way, you should search the private quarters in that wing for clues.
Then get me access, and in the meantime, get your soldiers into position.
At once. Be careful, Inquisitor.
What is Lady Pentecost wearing?
Thank the Maker you're back. The Empress will begin her speech soon. What should we do?
Wait here, Cullen. I'm going to have a word with the Grand Duchess.
What? There's no time. The Empress will begin her speech any moment. There you are. Everyone's been looking for you. Things have calmed down for the moment. Are you all right?
I'm just worn out. Tonight has been very long.
For all of us. I'm glad it's over. I know it's foolish, but I was worried for you tonight. I may never have another chance like this, so I must ask. May I have this dance, my lady?
Of course. I thought you didn't dance.
For you, I'll try. Ryland's men will monitor the situation.
Yes, sir. We'll begin preparations at once.
In the meantime, we'll send soldiers to assist with the relief effort. That will be all.
Sir.
There's always something more, isn't there?
Wishing we were somewhere else?
I barely found time to get away before. This war won't last forever. When it started, I hadn't considered much beyond our survival. But things are different now.
What do you mean?
I find myself wondering what will happen after. When this is over, I won't want to move on. Not from you. But I don't know what you... That is, if you...
Cullen, do you need to ask?
I suppose not. I want... Leave me. Leave me.
Bad dream?
They always are. Without lyrium, they're worse. I didn't mean to worry you.
You can let me worry about you a little.
All right. You are... I have never felt anything like this.
I love you. You know that, right?
I love you too. I'd be perfectly happy never again setting foot in the Winter Palace. It wasn't the gossip and backstabbing, I know what the game entails, but the indifference to it all.
At least there was dancing.
Or an attempt at it, anyway.
I thought you did well.
Well, I'm grateful for your poor taste in dance partners.
Is there anything I should know?
My senior officers report that the soldiers are in good spirits. Having the Imperial Army as an ally has bolstered their confidence. The Orlesian military is highly regarded. Of course, I'd wager our own recruits are equal to any Chevalier.
Is there anything I should know?
Your plan is sound. We are ready to move on the Arbor Wilds when you give the word. I will see you reach the temple before Corypheus.
There you are. I've been looking all over for you. You're just in time. We almost had to start without you.
What exactly were you starting without me now?
I found her, Ruffles. Deal her in.
I do hope I recall the rules. It's been ages since I've played a game of Wicked Grace.
Grab a seat. We're ready to start.
Are we playing cards or what?
Are 3 drakes better than a pair of swords? Ugh, I can never remember.
Seeker, remember how I said, don't show anyone your hand? That rule includes announcing it to the table.
There's a crown on his head, but a sword too. His head didn't want either.
Don't talk to the face cards, kid.
You seem to have enough people. I have 1,000 things to do.
Losing money can be both relaxing and habit-forming. Give it a try.
Curly, if any man in history ever needed a hobby, it's you.
Dealer starts. Oh, I believe I'll start at... Oh, 3 coppers. Do you think that's too daring? Maybe I'll make it 1. No. Boldness. 3 it is.
Seriously, who starts at 3 coppers? Silver or go home?
Sounds good. I'm in.
Bolder the better, right? I'm in.
Me too. Well, are you in?
Of course. Deal me in, Josephine.
Oh, wonderful. I'm glad you're joining us.
Ante up, Inquisitor.
The poor recruit ran out into the dining hall in nothing but his knickers. And this profound silence fell over the hall as 70 mages and 30 Templars all turned to stare at once. Then, a slow round of applause began and spread until every soul was on their feet. A standing ovation.
What did he do?
Saluted, turned on his heel, and marched out like he was in full armor.
He did not.
Good man.
You're shitting us.
That's how you know it's true. I could never put that in a book. Too unlikely.
I think it's our professional storyteller's turn to tell one.
I think I can manage that. Did I ever tell you about the time we broke into Chateau Haine? It started, as most capers do, with a trap. And then Hawk looks up and says, "Looks like the Duke has fallen from grace."
That's how Duke Prosper died? You know, that's almost perfect for him. And the dealer takes everything. I win again.
Deal again. I've figured out your tells, Lady Ambassador.
Commander, everyone knows a lady has no tells.
Then let's see if your good fortune lasts one more hand.
I want another chance to win my dignity back. Deal me in.
Don't say a word, dwarf.
I tried to warn you, Curly.
Never bet against an Antivan, Commander.
I'm leaving. I don't want to witness our commander's walk of shame back to the barracks.
Well, I do.
It comes off. I didn't know it came off.
I'm glad you decided to join us tonight. It's too easy to mistake you for the Inquisitor.
I enjoyed this.
See? That's what I mean. It's easy to forget you're not just an icon or symbol. Like those statues of Andraste holding bowls of fire. At least it is for me. You up for another game when this is all over, Inquisitor?
I wouldn't miss it.
Good. It'll take me a while to talk Cullen into it. Maybe I'll work the revenge angle.
Who's that? Did I win?
I hoped you'd stop by.
Is there anything I should know?
Only that I'm never playing cards again. I still can't find my... It doesn't matter. I don't know how Varric talked me into that.
That's too bad. Watching you lose made me want to play cards more often.
I do not need help embarrassing myself in front of you.
You were blushing. It was adorable.
Maker's breath.
It's time to plan our next attack. What's the state of the Inquisition?
Our alliance with Orlais holds. For the present. They'll send aid on request.
And your actions at Adamant denied Corypheus his army of pet demons. With Orlais' support, our numbers match his. Corypheus' followers must be panicking.
My agents agree. Our victories have shaken his disciples.
Perhaps they'll rethink following the Darkspawn Magister from the dawn of time. Where is Corypheus now?
After you dealt with the Duchess, Corypheus uprooted his major strongholds. He's moving south to the Arbor Wilds. His army clearly wasn't prepared to flee. Our victories have them on the defensive.
They've terrorized Thedas long enough. We end them now. If Corypheus is hiding in the Arbor Wilds, that's where we'll go.
But what is Corypheus doing in such a remote area?
His people have been ransacking elven ruins since Haven. We believe he seeks more. What he hopes to find, however, continues to elude us.
Which should surprise no one. Fortunately, I can assist.
You have my attention, Lady Morrigan.
What Corypheus seeks in those Forgotten Woods is as ancient as it is dangerous.
Which is?
'Tis best if I show you.
I've been reading the letters found in the quarry. Samson is making red lyrium from people?
Not anymore. Not in that mine.
I knew Samson had fallen, but this... it's monstrous. We have to put an end to him. Look at these orders from the encampment. That armor must give Samson extraordinary power. We may not be able to stop him.
Samson's a menace. If we can't defeat him, no one stands a chance.
Then we must destroy the armor. But I couldn't say how. Templars are trained not to destroy expensive magical equipment. Perhaps Dagna has some ideas. She crafts the impossible every day. No red lyrium, no allies, and soon Samson will have no armor, I hope.
You hope?
Dagna's started work on her red lyrium samples, but she needs more details on the armor. We found orders in the mine. They mention Maddox, a name I did not expect to hear.
Samson's letter said something about taking over as the vessel.
Perhaps it's a rank among the Red Templars. It could be a title from Ancient to Vinter. Or it's some other role Corypheus has planned for Samson, and Maddox is part of it.
Another voice from your past?
In a way, this is complicated. Maddox was a mage in Kirkwall's circle. Samson smuggled letters between him and his sweetheart. Eventually, Samson was caught. That's why he was cast out of the Order. Maddox was made tranquil and became a skilled craftsman of magical items. Samson must have rescued him.
I can't believe they made a man tranquil over a few love letters.
The official charge was corrupting the moral integrity of a Templar. Knight Commander Meredith wielded the brand for far lesser offenses, believe me.
Why would Maddox need saving?
When the mages rebelled in Kirkwall, the worst battles took place at the gallows in the circle itself. I thought Maddox had died in the fighting, or was eking out a living on the streets. A hard fate for a tranquil in Kirkwall. Samson must have found him, taken him in.
Perhaps there's something left of the man Samson used to be.
Or he's shrewd enough to know an extraordinary resource. It seems Maddox built Samson's armor for him, and maintains it still. Tranquil in Kirkwall needed rare and expensive supplies for their enchantments. Supplies we can trace. I can have our men kick down some doors, Inquisitor. Samson's armor might lead us right to his stronghold.
What have you found?
We have him, Inquisitor. We found Samson's lair. My duties usually keep me here, but for Samson, I'll make an exception.
Samson still has that red lyrium armor.
All the more reason for me to go. I would sleep better if I knew I would be at your side. We'll depart at your leave.
Hello, Inquisitor.
You know me?
It's Maddox, Samson's tranquil. Something's wrong. I'll send for the healers.
That would be a waste, Knight Captain Cullen. I drank my entire supply of Blightcap essence. It won't be long now.
We only wanted to ask you questions, Maddox.
Yes. That is what I could not allow. I destroyed the camp with fire. We all agreed it was best. Our deaths ensured Samson had time to escape.
You threw your lives away? For Samson? Why?
Samson saved me even before he needed me. He gave me purpose again. I wanted to help.
We should check the camp. Maddox may have missed something.
We should look around.
Dismal place to die. It can't have been much of a place to live either under Samson's command.
What else do you remember about Samson, the man he used to be?
Does it matter? He used to be kind, only carries so far. Yet Maddox died to help him escape. Samson does command loyalty.
Is there anything in the camp that could help? Or point us to Samson?
It's hard to tell. All I see is smoke and ash. If this is Samson's idea of remaking the world, I prefer yours.
We can't leave Maddox here. He should be properly laid to rest.
I'll have someone take care of it. If even Samson did his best for Maddox, we can do no less.
I'll keep looking around.
The Red Lyrium deposits are being destroyed, and we've cut the Red Templars down to the core. It's a pity Maddox thought his sacrifice was the only answer. But that leaves Samson with a severely curtailed army, and enchanted armor he can't maintain. You did it.
We both fought to make this happen. Don't sell yourself short.
Well, thank you. But my work's not done yet. We're getting recruits by the hour. There's more than a few ex-Templars among them. We've struck a blow and given people hope. This is a true victory.
Inquisitor, I finished it. Are you talking? Sorry. Have it anyhow.
You mean this rune?
It's not just any rune. I made it with red lyrium and what's left of poor Maddox's tools. The rune acts on the median fissures of lyrium to... It'll destroy Samson's armor. He'll be powerless.
We'll cut Corypheus off from his most powerful officer.
Maddox covered Samson's tracks thoroughly. But wherever Samson's retreated, we'll find him. Your army stands ready, Inquisitor. For Samson, for Corypheus, for whatever you command.
With an illuvion, Corypheus could cross into the Fade in the flesh.
Indeed, the Inquisitor can attest that these artifacts still work, if one knows how to use them.
What happens when Corypheus enters the Fade?
Why, he will gain his heart's desire and take the power of a god. Or, and this is more likely, the lunatic will unleash forces that tear the world apart.
I won't allow it. I can't.
Indeed, should Corypheus succeed, do not doubt you would be first to feel his holy wrath.
Pardon me, but does this mean everything's lost unless we get to the Illuvian before him?
Corypheus has a head start, no matter how quickly our army moves.
We should gather our allies before we march.
Can we wait for them? We should send our spies ahead to the Arbor Wilds.
Without support from the soldiers, you'd lose half of them.
Then what should we do?
You overcome it. All three of you together. Josephine, have our allies send scouts to meet us in the wilds. Leliana, your fastest agents will join them. Together, we'll have enough spies to slow down Corypheus's army until Cullen's soldiers arrive.
Such confidence. But the Arbor Wilds are not so kind to visitors. Old elven magic lingers in those woods.
We'd be remiss to not take advantage of your knowledge, Lady Morgan. Please, lend us your expertise.
'Tis why I came here, although it is good to see its value recognized.
Any further instructions, Inquisitor?
The Inquisition began as a handful of soldiers. Thanks to you, we're now a force that will topple a self-proclaimed god. I could ask for no finer counsel, no better guidance.
I speak for all of us when I answer. We could ask for no finer cause.
We'll hound Corypheus in the wilds before he can find the temple or this Illuvion.
I'm pleased to report we won the battle, Inquisitor. When you went through that mirror, Corypheus and his archdemon fled the field. I'm not sure why.
What he wanted was no longer within the temple.
Perhaps. He spent so long trying to get into the temple, he probably couldn't have helped his forces by that point.
Then Corypheus is finished.
If he is wise, he will hide and rebuild his strength before he attacks again.
He will not hide.
Meaning he will attack us directly, at Skyhold.
Not necessarily. But neither will he remain idle.
And how could you have such insight into his plans?
The Well of Sorrows held many voices, and they speak to me now from across the ages. They hold wisdom. Secrets I never dreamed possible. But even they fear what Corypheus has become.
Should we fear him more than his army?
Possibly. Luckily for you, he has a weakness. The dragon he calls is not truly an archdemon. It is a dragon in which Corypheus has infested part of his being. He doubtless did so out of pride to emulate the gods of old. That pride can be exploited. Kill the dragon, and his ability to leap into other bodies is disrupted. He can be slain.
You're sure? If there are no bodies for him to jump to?
You assume there is a limit to the range of his power. There is not.
Then what do you propose? Killing the dragon is no simple task, if it could even be found.
There is a way to defeat the dragon, to match Corypheus in his power. The well whispers it to me now. Your help will be required, Inquisitor. Speak to me when you are ready, and we shall begin.
I'll see to Skyhold's defenses in the meantime. Though all before me is shadow, yet shall the Maker be my guide. I shall not be left to wander the drifting roads of the beyond. For there is no darkness in the Maker's light, and nothing that he has wrought shall be lost.
A prayer for you?
For those we have lost, and those I am afraid to lose.
You're afraid?
Of course I am. Corypheus possessed that Grey Warden at Mythal. What more is he capable of? It's only a matter of time before he retaliates. We must draw strength wherever we can. When the time comes, you will be thrown into his path again. Andraste, preserve me. I must send you to him.
There's nothing to worry about. I have luck on my side, remember.
That's less comforting than I'd hoped. Whatever happens, you will come back.
I certainly hope so.
The thought of losing you... I can't. Forgive me, Inquisitor. For personal interest, I have relieved Josephine, as you might expect. Knight Templar Samson, General to Corypheus, traitor to the Order. The blood on his hands cannot be measured. His head is too valuable to take. Kirkwall, Orlais, many would see him suffer. I can't say I'm not one of them.
Judging him will affect as many as his crimes. I won't take it lightly.
The Red Lyrium will steal your vengeance. You know what it does. Corypheus only delayed my corruption.
Are you still loyal to that thing? He poisoned the Order, used them to kill thousands.
Templars have always been used. How many were left to rot like I was, after the Chantry burned away their minds? Piss on it. I followed him, so Templars could at least die at their best. Same lie as the Chantry. The profit just isn't as pretty.
I found your people. They believed in you, believed your cause was righteous.
Not your business, Inquisitor.
Your friend Maddox was so loyal, he killed himself. For you.
They were always going to die. I saw what Corypheus was doing. So yes, I fed them hope instead of despair. I made them believe their pain had purpose. Just like the Chantry does. Right, Commander? It ended as well as anything else I've done. Corypheus would kill me on sight. I'll tell your people what they want. Everything I cared about is destroyed.
Very well. Samson, you will spend your remaining years serving the Inquisition. Cullen will be your handler. Perhaps he can get something useful out of you.
I doubt the Commander believes there's anything worthy left in me.
You're not wrong, but you served something greater than yourself once. Perhaps you can be made to remember that.
Did you find what you need, Morrigan?
I can match the Darkspawn Magister's dragon. Yes. As for matching Corypheus, that is up to you, Inquisitor.
Believe me, I know.
Then all that remains is to find Corypheus before he comes to us.
We've been looking for his base since all this began, with no success.
His dragon must come and go from somewhere.
Oh, what about the deep roads? We could send word to Orzammar, hire envoys to...
It seems Corypheus is not content to wait.
He's in the Valley of Sacred Ashes.
You either close the breach once more, or it swallows the world.
But that's Magnus. Wouldn't it kill him as well?
Inquisitor, we have no forces to send with you. We must wait for them to return from the Arbor Wilds.
I must go now, before it's too late.
A moment, my lady.
Am I imagining it? Or do we have a moment to breathe?
We have a moment.
I think you're right. You brought us here. You are proof that the Inquisition made a difference. That we will continue to do so.
Our soldiers put their trust in you, Cullen. I appreciate everything you've done.
I should be thanking you. You gave me a chance to prove myself. In your place, I'm not sure I would have done the same. I should let you mingle. I'm sure everyone desires your attention, as much as I might want it for myself.
I've been starting to think about putting all this into a book. Right now I'm thinking, this shit is weird, the Inquisitor Llewellyn story. It's a working title.
I'm glad you've gone back to writing.
Well, nothing's certain until it's in print. I still haven't decided if I should do this book. As if anyone will believe this story if I tell it. Not to mention, I'll have my hands full with reconstruction and relief efforts in the Free Marches as soon as I get back.
You should write the book.
I'll see what I can do once I get home. I'm not leaving for a while yet, though. We'll have to get in at least one game of Wicked Grace before I go. Curly needs to win back some of his dignity.
You managed to slip away. I thought I might claim more of your attention after all.
I'm glad you're here.
Good. The battle's over. There will be a new divine. Yet I don't care about anything other than you being alive.
Cullen.
I don't know what happens after this.
Neither do I.